Hi, fifth graders.
Well, we are moving right along into with chapter 10. And this is actually the last lesson in chapter 10, but I've added a couple of extra lessons that I think are important for you to understand. So we're going to have a couple extra lessons that aren't actually part of the Big Ideas curriculum. But that's not a problem. But here we go with some problem solving today. And there's not actually going to be a homework assignment per se. We'll be working on it together as a class, but I wanted to make sure you had a couple examples of the types of problems that are going to be on the review and the test for chapter 10. A contractor buys 1 gallon of paint. He uses 1/3 of the paint and divides the rest into 7 smaller cans. How many gallons does he put into each can? Well, first, so it's going to be a two-step problem. So once again, a contractor buys 1 gallon of paint. He uses 1/3 of the paint and divides the rest into 7 smaller cans. How many gallons does he put into each can? Well, first of all, he has 1 gallon of paint and he uses 1/3 of the paint and divides the rest. So the first thing we're going to have to figure out is what 1 minus 1/3 is. So first of all, if I'm going to set this up as 1 minus 1/3. Of course, this is like nothing over 3, so I'm going to borrow from the 1. I'm going to make it a 0. I'm borrowing one whole part. I'm borrowing the 1, making it a 0. The denominator's 3, so it's like I'm borrowing 3/3. That's kind of from back when we subtracted fractions back in chapter 8 or 9, somewhere in there previously. 3/3 minus 1/3 is 2/3. Same denominator, 3 minus 1 is 2. The 3 as the denominator stays the same. All right, so there's 2/3 left. It says he divides the rest into 7 smaller cans. So I'm taking this 2/3 and I'm dividing it by 7, which, as you know, is essentially going to be 2/3 divided by 7/1. Well, I have to take division problems and turn them into multiplication problems. So my first fraction, 2/3, is going to stay the same. My division sign is going to become a multiplication sign. My 7/1, I'm going to make the reciprocal 1/7. Now I'm going to look for cross-checking. Nothing besides 1 can go into both 7 and 2. Nothing besides 1 can go into both 1 and 3. So I can't cross-check. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 7 is 21. There's no number besides 1 that can go into both 2 and 21. So when it asks how many gallons does he put into each can, 2/21 of a gallon. All right, so my next one. Your friend uses 2 2/5 pounds of grapes and 3/5 pounds of plums to make a fruit salad. How many 1/5 pound bowls of fruit salad can your friend make? Well, first of all, we need to find out how much your friend has total. And so it says your friend uses 2 2/5 pounds of grapes and 3/5 pounds of plums to make a fruit salad. So that, first of all, sounds like an addition problem to me. 2 2/5 plus 3/5. Well, 2/5 plus 3/5 is going to be 5/5, because 2 plus 3 is 5, and my denominator 5 is there. I'm going to drop the 2 down. Of course, I can't leave 5/5 there. That needs to somehow be simplified or changed. Well, I know that 5/5 is just 1. Anytime we have the same numerator and denominator, it equals 1. So when I combine that 1 with the 2, because we want to remember just to write it down as a visual, 5/5 equals 1. So when I have that 1 plus that 2, that equals 3. All right, so my friend has 3 pounds of fruit, combining the grapes and the plums. How many 1/5 pound bowls of fruit salad can your friend make? So now I'm taking these 3 pounds and I'm dividing them into bowls that each weigh 1/5 of a pound. Well, I want to remember first of all that my 3 is always 3 over 1. Whenever I take a whole number and turn it into a fraction, I put it over 1. So it becomes 3 over 1. My division sign becomes a multiplication sign. I make the reciprocal of the divisor. 1 over 5 becomes 5 over 1. I cannot cross-check a 1 and a 3. Cannot cross-check a 1 and a 5. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 1 is 1. And I know that 15 over 1 is just 15. My friend can make 15 1/5 pound bowls of fruit. All right, we'll talk to you later, 5th grade. Bye.